King, 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 King.
Yes, please talk about the difference between technical and adaptive change.
Yeah, so the best example that I like to use to show the difference, I use a surgeon as an example. And this is not a criticism of surgeons. I have titanium and ceramic hips. I had my hips replaced almost 20 years ago, and thank God for the surgeon that did that. And I can tell other stories of some family members whose lives were lengthened by modern medicine. So, but it's, surgeons by definition, they're smart. They have great eye to hand coordination. They're courageous. They can be a little bit arrogant at times, which I want my surgeon to be arrogant and confident. I don't want him to be not unsure. But for a surgeon, developing a new way to do a surgery would be an example of technical change. The surgeon himself or herself is the same human being, just has created maybe a more efficient or more effective or a less expensive way to do a surgery. That's an example of technical change. The surgeon develops it. He or she is brilliant and effective, but still sees the patients as people coming with something wrong that needs to be fixed, and still sees him or herself as a surgeon as a really important, successful person who can help resolve the issue. Right? But the surgeon doesn't really change even if he invents a brand new procedure. Fast forward now, let's take the same surgeon who gets sick or injured and has to go into the hospital from the other side of the operating room, let's say, as a patient. Never done this before. And suddenly he or she is lying on their back, and some other surgeon is going to, put them under and perform surgery on them. So there's a little bit of trepidation when you're the patient. You're going to be anesthetized, and they're going to cut part of you open, and that's not a fun thing to think about. So now this surgeon, through this experience, comes out of the surgery, which is successful. But now he or she has a view of medicine, end of surgery, that includes a firsthand experience of a patient's perspective. So the next time this surgeon deals with a patient, not only does the surgeon have the technical skills that he or she already had in this new procedure that he or she developed, but now he or she is more fully human because she better understands what the patient is going through, right? That's an adaptive change. The surgeon now looks at his or her practice and the patients through a completely different lens, which allows for more empathy and compassion for the patient, simply because the surgeon knows exactly what it feels like now to be a patient. Now, we're not saying, this is just an example, we're not saying that without that experience, no surgeon is empathic or compassionate. I'm not saying that. But that would be an example of adaptive change, coming out of the surgery with a different view and a different approach to dealing with patients. This surgeon could develop 15 more brilliant, internationally renowned procedures. All of those, as complex as they may be, are only examples of technical change. They have nothing to do with the adaptiveness of the human being.
The connecting with intent formula. Strategy plus connections plus systems plus value equals capital. Social first, and social capital creates financial capital.